Hey, I'm Logan.
And I'm Alyssa.
And this is Marketer's Cut. Bad Movie Marketing, Take 7. You know, tell us what we're talking about this time?
Good movies, but a bad time.
No, I thought they were a good time.
Well, we're going to give it a bad time when we market them bad.
Okay.
I can say the movies.
Say them, please.
Tenet and About Time.
Great.
It was about time I said that title right.
It took you 10 minutes.
I hate you. I hate you.
So these were some great movies. We chose them because they have some good similarities, as in...
Time.
I was gonna say both movies have a scene where somebody puts like sunscreen or suntan lotion on the back of another character, which like we don't see enough of that in movies.
Why don't we do a whole episode on that one? A couple hour episode of every movie where suntan lotion is applied.
Look, I think it might just be these two movies.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever seen another movie where this happens. So let's jump right into it because we have a lot to talk about today. Tenet. Directed by Christopher Nolan.
Written by Christopher Nolan.
Nolan does it all. Not all. It's starring John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, and Elizabeth Debicki. Distributed by Warner Brothers. And released, LOL, in the middle of a pandemic in the UK on August 26th and in the US on September 3rd.
Please.
2020.
Please don't say LOL on our podcast again. Please do not.
I speak on our podcast how I speak in real life.
Well, I don't know about that. We can say LOL in private, but I don't know if it should be public to our podcast.
Okay, I mean, I can maybe see how you're thinking that, but at the same time, it's a little LOL that you would say that to me.
Okay, all right.
So this it had a wild and rocky release and marketing strategy and everything because it was supposed to come out in the middle of a pandemic on July 17th, 2020. They delayed that 2 weeks because, I don't know if you guys remember July, but like the one thing on everybody's mind was that we'd be out of the woods in 2 weeks. They then delayed it again 12 days. So it went from July 31st to August 12th. And same thing. We were on July 31st. We were like, well, we were wrong 2 weeks ago, but surely 12 days will be good. And then after that, they delayed it indefinitely. So my personal experience, I heard that and I was like, oh, wow, they finally realized what's going on and that maybe Tenet shouldn't be a 2020 release. Mm-hmm. And then like 5 days later, they're like, nah, it's coming out August 26th and September 3rd, Labor Day weekend. I truly believe the indefinitely thing was like a stunt to get people to like get off their back about delaying it only 2 weeks, just so that they could still delay it 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what it seems like they did.
Yeah. So it did come out Labor Day weekend. Tenet became the first Hollywood tentpole to launch in theaters following their prolonged shutdown. Which, I mean, seems like a big deal, but like it's only because it shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And then... yeah, it was, delayed 3 total times, and it was estimated that each delay cost between $200,000 and $400,000. Which, like, I guess maybe you're going to say, yeah, we got to release it now because we're losing all this money. But I bet it would have made a lot more money had they just waited and released it. I mean, you could have delayed it and spent $10 million on delays. And then... I don't know, made $100 million extra at the box office. That seems like a good idea.
No.
Not
for Warner Bros.
You're right. So, yeah, it opened in the U.S. Had a $20 million opening weekend, which is really bad for a movie like this, given what it should make. It had a $7 million opening weekend in the U.K. Overall, in the U.S., it made $57 million, and worldwide made $361 million. So that $57 million is only 14% of the total.
Wow.
It's not great. Not great for a domestic release. So recently, rival studios, it was reported that rival studios expected the film to lose up to $100 million, but Warner Brothers insist that its losses would not top 50 million. Which, if you're looking at how much it's made worldwide, 361 million, and what the budget was, accounting for marketing costs, then yeah, maybe it wouldn't lose more than 50 million. But I think what you really have to compare it against is like what it could have made
Yeah.
if they would have waited. And in that case, I would say it's losing. I mean, I'm no box office expert, but 100, 200, 300 million. I mean, Nolan makes movies that make a ton of money.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at the total being only 360 million, that's just not what it should be. Mm-hmm. So Warner Brothers, they insist their losses will not top 50 million, but they're desperately trying to save their jobs, I think.
Probably.
Yeah. I think that recently they also announced that their entire 2021 slate is coming to streaming. Like, this was clearly a failure. So, Rotten Tomatoes for this movie has a 71% critic score, 76% audience score, so pretty close. One thing I thought was interesting to talk about is its cinema score. So you know what cinema score is, correct?
Yes.
Okay. For those that don't know, it is pretty much a post-screening survey. Like, you ask people what they thought of the movie as they're leaving theaters. So it's just supposed to kind of gauge, I guess, immediate audience reaction. So this movie got a B, which I don't think is terrible. It's pretty decent.
It's pretty decent.
One thing, though, that may have affected it is, did we go see Tenet in theaters?
No.
But it was open in Atlanta. We could have.
So people who went to see it are very large Nolan fans who said, COVID's worth it.
Yeah.
Or random old people who are bored.
Maybe, yes. Or another thing that could affect it is if I went to a movie, maybe I was just desperate for a movie. Mm-hmm. And I know that it's in the middle of a pandemic. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go out to a movie. Now, if I don't like that movie, I'm never going to admit to myself that I risk my life for a bad movie. Never.
That's a good point. That's
so
a good point.
I'm gonna give it maybe not the best score because that's lying too much, but a B sounds about what I would give it, whether I liked it or not. I just thought that was interesting to talk about given how this movie came out. Mm-hmm. So now let's talk about the trailer. Let's give some general thoughts on the trailer and the poster, and then I kind of want to talk about the trailer strategy for a bit. So what do you think about the trailer?
It gave me really spooky vibes. Like, the music was really intense, and I was like, am I going to get murdered while watching this movie?
So I thought that Hans Zimmer did this score, but it turns out that he turned down this movie to do Dune, which is interesting. But the composer that did this movie is Ludwig Göransson. I may be pronouncing his name wrong, but the score was really intense due to like the concept of the movie. Like, it uses a lot of like reverse sounds and everything in it, and the trailer really like goes heavy with all that. It's more of a industrial electronic type sounding score, which I just thought was interesting right off the bat because I did think Zimmer did the score. So I was like, oh, Zimmer's going with something new. But it turns out it wasn't him. I know we watched the trailer after we saw the movie. Do you think you could have guessed what the movie was about with the trailer?
No. I think you could have watched this trailer before just then, even though you were avoiding it. And
not be like, I was avoiding it.
You'd have no idea what would be happening.
Yeah, that's true. One thing I thought was funny is there's a line that one of the characters says, "Welcome to the afterlife," which is very early on in the movie, and it's like a kind of a throwaway line. It's meant to sound kind of cool, I guess, but nobody's in the afterlife.
Yeah, it's definitely not about the afterlife, and when I watched that, I was like, wait, what's happening in this movie right now? And then he wasn't in the afterlife. Yeah, it's like after your life.
Yeah, and I think given like the limited info you get in the trailer, it maybe be a little easy to see that like, is Nolan doing something weird about like the afterlife? That's weird.
It was a bad move to put in the trailer. I agree.
Yeah, I thought it was a bad line in the movie until I put it in the trailer. It was kind of weird. But yeah, overall it was an interesting trailer. I mean, it shows some cool stuff, but like, yeah, I had no clue what the hell was going on. But the most interesting part of the trailer is at the end of the trailer that I watched on YouTube. It says, "Watch the trailer in theaters for a better experience, or for the entire experience," which is so funny to see a trailer tell you to go watch the trailer in a theater. And that kind of leads me to like the trailer strategy for this movie, which is also sort of interesting. So it started by debuting a 40-second teaser before Hobbs and Shaw in August of 2019. And then the first online trailer was posted in December, with like an IMAX exclusive prologue being played in IMAX theaters before The Rise of Skywalker. So already with these two things, it kind of goes in line with the go watch the trailer in theaters. Like, it really doesn't matter if it's a Warner Bros. Movie or anything. They want people to go to theaters to watch trailers. Mm-hmm. Like they're using their trailers to bring people into theaters, which is I thought was weird. Then that 40-second teaser was attached to Joker in India, which was an interesting choice. And that IMAX prologue in India was introduced with Birds of Prey. Again, interesting choice, I think. Then is where we get a little wild. In May, a trailer premiered inside of Fortnite.
Perfect.
There was a big party, a big watch party. I think this is the funniest thing because Nolan is like, hey, go watch my movies in theaters. And Nolan movie trailers are like, hey, go watch our trailers in theaters. And then it's like, hey, but also go watch our trailer in Fortnite. The prime viewing experience is Fortnite.
That is very interesting. That's a little weird.
Yeah, I asked my little brother, who plays Fortnite a lot, if he watched it in there, and I don't think he did. But I wish he did, because I would have liked to know.
What happened?
Yeah, how it went down. How wild it was. Were people, like, running around building Nolan monuments and everything? I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows?
And then the final trailer was released in August, shortly before the rushed Labor Day release. Mm-hmm. So just an interesting little strategy there. The poster, not to say, I think the poster's pretty okay.
Fine, it's fine.
Yeah, it's got like John David Washington looking through glass, but it almost looks like he's looking in a mirror, and the other side is Robert Pattinson. And like, I gotta say, sometimes I do the same thing. I look in a mirror and I see Robert Pattinson. Like, I just...
Yeah, but
I look a lot like him, I think.
Okay, well, I just don't know if... Yeah, I don't have anything to say about this at all.
So you agree that I look like Robert Pattinson when I look in the mirror? Cool, let's move on.
Nope,
let's move
okay,
on. Well... Cool. Well, it seems like Warner Bros. Is very happy with how they did everything and would change nothing. But I'm wondering, if you could change something, what would you do?
Well... So, I guess in order to match the trailer to the movie, I'd make the movie spookier.
The movie spookier? Yep. Not the trailer less spooky?
Nope. I would change. I would have everyone review what they thought of the trailer, and people would be like, trailer's really spooky. And then I'd be like, gotta change the whole damn movie. And then I'd go in and I'd make the whole movie just, the music maybe just spookier.
Like add like a ghost in the background in a couple of shots?
No, a ghost. Yeah, maybe just like a ghost and a little more intense music.
Yeah. I think it'd be really interesting. I'm sure, I think maybe the studio couldn't afford it, but maybe if they can get one of those 12-foot skeletons from Home Depot and put in the background.
Ooh, or just like his bones laying around and you just see him, you gotta find all the bones.
Oh, so we're changing the plot of the movie now to finding the bones?
No, it's just like a background thing.
Oh,
it's just
like the viewer is like, hey, find all the bones and we'll give you a bone.
They don't mention it. You're at home and you're like, damn, I think I see every human bone in here. And then you get on Reddit and you go, hey guys, did you see Tenet? Did you see all those bones? and then...
Look, I know you're joking, but like I'm 90% sure that's what the discussion around Tenet on Reddit is pretty much looking like right now.
And then you go, oh yeah, wow, I think all the bones are in here. I'm going to count them all. But maybe the marketing team is closely watching this Reddit thread. And then someone's like, wow, I really found all 216 bones. And then you do get a secret visit from Robert Pattinson. He shows up in a jogging suit, a jogging outfit.
Oh, like that picture of him?
Yes. And he says, congratulations, mate. But in an accent, and he gives you a signed copy of the first Twilight book that he signed.
Okay, we're not talking about Twilight in this episode. I am...
Should we have?
We will in one episode. We have to at some point. Like the next big vampire movie that comes out, like, I don't know. We'll do it. Well, I mean, it could have gone with Happiest Season, the Kristen Stewart movie.
Listen, could have gone with this. Because also time's messed up because he doesn't age, but she ages until she's a vampire.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot to process. I'm trying to think of how I would market this movie better.
What kind of ideas do you have?
So, what kind of ideas do I have? I think a big thing that a lot of people didn't like about this movie is the sound mixing. And you couldn't hear like anyone's voice. People were talking about how they couldn't follow the plot and everything.
It did suck.
So I think that something you could do is, and this brings in sort of like a direct mail strategy to film too, because like how often do you open your mailbox and get like some political mail that you don't want?
Every day.
Every day. How often do you open your mailbox and see like a little postcard for the newest movie in theaters?
Huh.
So with this, I think you mail people plot descriptions. All right? And maybe a little ticket coupon on there, 5% off your ticket. And then they bring it in there and they can go to the theaters. I guess you should probably like send a mask with this as well, given the time this movie came out. Mm-hmm. But you have the little plot description and they can just look at it for reference. It's like a little glossary index sort of thing, the guy says, "Welcome to the afterlife." And then you look down and there's a thing that says, he doesn't actually mean the afterlife. He's trying to make a joke and like, don't worry about it. Move on. And
don't stress about it. Don't stress about it.
And it'd be great. Now, look, one thing that would be bad with that is like everyone would have their phones out, like shining it on their little postcards and be a really bright theater. Mm-hmm. But that's not our problem. We're marketers. Exactly. So,
just like how I'm pretty sure if you had an app when Despicable Me was out, you could put it on during Despicable Me and it would translate what the minions were saying. Do you remember that?
I didn't know that was a thing.
That was for sure a thing. And I was like, doesn't that seem kind of annoying to have your phone out during there to like get what the minions say?
Okay, I have a really good one, I think.
Well, no, it's my turn now.
Okay.
So trailer was really loud. Sound mixing was very bad. Now, if we play very loud music over the very quiet talking, that's kind of spooky. Maybe that's your solution to making it spookier.
Is you just play more loud music over more quiet talking as if it didn't have enough?
Yes. And then people are like, what are they even saying? It's like, I don't know, kind of eerie. So, and you're like, wow. And then you take a survey of what people thought about after that. Was that really spooky? And they have a whole different interpretation of the movie. You could make two different movies there almost.
Should we just start a second podcast and call it Spooky Marketer's Cut? Because
so what's your next idea?
My next idea is, so you mentioned like they had an app for the Minions thing.
Yeah.
Which you could have a translation app so you can hear what all these people are saying in the theater. That'd be fine and everything. But it reminded me that last year, Rian Johnson released a thing with Knives Out. Do you remember when he released like a theater commentary track?
No.
So it was something he released, and do you remember when he released a theater commentary track?
No.
Okay, so it was something he released shortly after the movie came out in theaters, and you could get it on your phone, sit down in the theater, start it at a certain time, like as soon as it says to start it, like as soon as like this title card or production company card comes up or something. Mm-hmm. And then you just play it as you're watching the movie and you kind of get like a director's commentary in theaters. So I want to do one for Nolan, and I want him to do his own director's commentary based on how I feel like he feels about the audience as he's making the movie. Because he does some things, he'll take a shortcut, like he'll tell a character something, and then you'll see the character doing something else. And you're like, we missed a step here. This character learned something else in this period, but Nolan just didn't show us. And clearly he's like, fuck you guys, I don't care. So I want a commentary track. It's pretty much 2.5 hours of him going, fuck you guys. Look, I got away with this one. This one's in here now. And you're like, I don't understand. You're just thinking, I'm so confused. And he's like, listen, you're an idiot. You should understand this. You're the worst audience member ever. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but then I had a better idea after you said that.
Okay.
It's just you on this commentary track, but you're just talking everyone's lines, like how they're supposed to do it.
It's me?
It's you.
Like Logan?
It's you.
Okay.
Because I want to hear your British accent for Robert Pattinson, and I want...
hello, mate.
Okay. And that's what is you talking loud. Almost half shouting, though. So it's like really loud in there.
Louder than it. So there's quiet dialogue in the movie. There's super loud, spooky music that you've now introduced. And then there's me shouting over that loud music so that everybody can still hear what's being said.
Exactly.
Okay, let me practice. I'm going to practice real quick, all right?
Wait, should I make loud music?
Yeah.
Should I beatbox?
No. Just go like, boom. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Welcome to the afterlife! That was really good. Okay, I think
that was perfect. Yes, I think that's what we need to do. I think it'd be helpful.
Yeah. No, we're both making the experience more spooky and entertaining, but also maintaining that sort of clarity that you need to watch a movie.
Yeah.
And maybe real quiet in the background, and you might not hear it over the loud music, is still Nolan telling you you're a goddamn idiot. That would have been a nice little trailer campaign. It's like, hey, don't know what's happening in this movie. I don't give a shit. Yeah. It sounds like we didn't enjoy the movie. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a fun time.
I also enjoyed it.
Yeah, a lot of cool time stuff. It reminds me of a music video that I made with my friend Cal back in high school, where we like did stuff backwards and like we learned how to sing the song in reverse, so that when we reversed the footage, it looked like we were singing the song. Okay.
You could have done so much with that time that you spent doing that.
I know, but we're gonna go talk about time now. And we're gonna stop talking about that time I just spent and now talk about time. About time. The movie. Mm-hmm. Great.
I'm over it. I'm over your bullshit.
As always. So About Time was written and directed by Richard Curtis, starring Domhnall Gleeson, Rachel McAdams, and Bill Nye. Not the science guy.
No, it's not Nye?
I don't think it's not Nye. I think it's just Nye, but it's definitely not the science guy.
He's definitely not a science... Well...
he might be a science guy, but he's not the science guy. Based on this movie, he's more of a time travel guy.
Wait, stop. Bill Nye, a science guy.
Okay, so starring Domhnall Gleeson, Rachel McAdams, and Bill Nye, a science guy.
Thank you.
Distributed by Universal Pictures. It opened... Oh, man, I forgot to put the opening date in here. Oh, wait, it's right over here. It opened on November 8th. It had a limited release on November 1st, 2013, opened on November 8th. So it's a 7-year-old movie. It's kind of an old one.
Not really that old.
I guess you're right. So it was made on a budget of $12 million. It made $87 million worldwide. Only $15 million of that was in the U.S. So sort of like Tenet, most of its movie was made overseas, but I don't think this movie was dealing with a global pandemic that was ravaging the U.S. worse than a lot of other countries.
That's very true.
It might have been. I don't remember 2013 that well. I was too young.
We were dating.
We were dating not when this movie came out.
No, a little bit before.
A little bit after.
Or yeah, that's what I meant. A little after.
Yeah. So I remember what happened when I don't remember anything before us dating. If I'm being honest, not a single thing.
Okay.
So this movie has a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes, which hurts me in my soul because I love this movie so much. Weirdly enough, a lot of the complaints about this movie are about how like the time travel doesn't make any sense and there's so many plot holes. And it's like, man, you must be fun at parties and theaters complaining about Time's plot holes.
It's a romantic comedy, not a science fiction thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. Like one really cool thing about it is that I read this. They had a special effects company go through and do really cool time travel effects for every time he time traveled in the movie. Mm-hmm. And then they watched them and they were like, oh, this doesn't fit. Let's just make it bare bones. And then that's how we got what's in the movie is he just goes into a closet, clenches his fist, and then is there. Like no effects at all. And I thought that worked so much better.
Yeah, it's really nice. Just simple.
So shut up about your plot holes, internet or critics or whoever. Okay, let's go.
Or idiot.
Stop it, Nolan.
Get the fuck out of here,
Christopher Nolan, stop. So let's talk about the trailers. We watched a domestic trailer and an international trailer for this. The domestic trailer was ass. What do you think?
It was fine.
Oh, I thought it was really cheesy. I put off this movie for a long time because I thought it was a cheesy rom-com. And the domestic trailer, I think, is part of why. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
The international trailer still shows it as a rom-com, but I feel like it shows a lot more of the heart in the movie.
Yeah. I also like the international trailer better. Why? I don't know. Just liked it better.
Yeah, and maybe it worked better because did you see how much money it made outside of the U.S.?
Ding, ding, ding. Tell me about it.
Well, I did earlier.
Sorry, I zoned out.
It made...
Don't say it again. I can read.
72 million outside of the U.S. But, I mean, yeah, the trailers were fine. For the most part, they were pretty standard.
I didn't see the poster for this movie.
The poster, oh, man... I swear I put it in here.
Slacking.
Okay, I'm sorry. The poster has both of them when they're under an umbrella.
And it's raining.
Yeah, and it's raining.
It's fine. I've seen that poster before, yeah.
Yeah.
From the directors of Love... Have you seen Love Actually?
No.
I think it's a Christmas time movie. I think, and it's supposed to be really good. I've seen, I think, bits and pieces of it, or maybe the whole thing, but I forgot a lot of it. We should watch that soon.
Okay.
A plus.
Should we keep this in the podcast?
Sure, everyone go watch Love Actually. If it doesn't fit, then take it out.
All right. Cool. So let's talk about the I say the marketing ideas. I mean our marketing ideas. So here,
okay.
Before we start, I'm gonna do something I haven't really done before. I think the specific issue with this movie is one of two things. It either looked too much like a cheesy rom-com, or it wasn't hard science fiction enough. And people were upset about the time travel. Ooh. So, in marketing this better, how do we either make it seem like a not cheesy rom-com, or how do we make it seem super hard sci-fi? So that we're pleasing the people who apparently didn't like it.
So, if you want to make it super hard sci-fi, it's simple. You add aliens. That's it.
But we can't change the movie. We got to get off of that. So, just aliens in the poster? Aliens in the trailer?
Both? Yeah. I mean, that's it. I don't know what you want me to say. You're like...
Maybe. So in the movie, the dad's like, oh, all the men in our family can time travel. And the son's like, I don't believe you. But then he does it and he believes them. Mm. But you don't really get an origin story for where the time travel came from. So it'd be cool, kind of like we talked about with, I don't even remember what movie we talked about this with, but what Blade Runner 2049 did, where they had, short films and short animated films that took place before the movie. Let's do that with About Time, but let's show where aliens come down from the sky of the space, and give time travel powers.
They breed with a human.
Oh, I wasn't gonna go there.
And then the human looks normal, but they got a little bit of alien in them, and they said, "I can time travel."
Yeah, it's perfect. And
perfect.
Look, maybe. Because this was around the time, maybe a little bit before, but the X-Files came back on TV. So you could have done a little About Time X-Files crossover.
Ooh, true.
I've been watching a lot of X-Files recently, so sorry for bringing it up. I talk about it too much. But that'd be really cool. Explain how the time travel came from. You have Mulder, who's like, oh, time travel, and Scully's like, no, your watch is just broken or something, because she doesn't ever believe it. Mm-hmm. But we know he's right. That'd be perfect.
And then make it less cheesy. I mean, you just have to take out the cheesier parts. I feel like they just do a bunch of cheese in there.
Listen,
they need to add some crackers.
Okay, you stopped. No, I got it. So, a guy is watching this movie and he's like, "Oh, it's a cheesy rom-com. It's a chick flick," which I hate that term. Mm-hmm. But that's what some terrible beefcake's gonna say about it.
Yeah, I hate those
beefcakes.
I hate those beefcakes.
Yeah. We watch a lot of Great British Bake Off, and I don't think they've baked a single beefcake, and that's because they're terrible. Get out of here.
Thank you.
So he's watching. He's like, "Oh man, this is too cheesy for me. I hate love, but you got to throw in a fight somewhere, a good old punch." And I don't know if there's a punch in the movie, but maybe there's a part where somebody playfully pushes somebody or something, and if you edit that the right way, it could look brutal.
Bad. Yeah,
it could look brutal.
I agree.
So maybe you do like a separate trailer. You target it online to insensitive beefcakes, because like there are a lot of them out there. They do fuel the movie industry. It seems like and you have your About Time fight trailer.
What you also do is you say, hey, this guy, listen, this guy in like 3 years, he's going to be in Star Wars.
Oh.
Hey, you Star Wars dudes, you Star Wars duds is what they are. Y'all want to come see this movie? He's going to be in Star Wars soon, so you should come watch this because don't criticize the time travel. Just come watch him do fun things.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Perfect.
I know.
Because, the one thing that Star Wars fans are not known for is criticizing someone in Star Wars.
Ooh, good point.
It's okay, so I think we've solved a lot of the issues with this, but I still want to talk about this movie a little bit more. Now, is there a way, say next year, theaters are looking fine again, maybe, hopefully, maybe in 2 years, theaters are looking completely normal, and you need to figure out what to play. So one weekend, they're like, we're going to re-release Tenet and About Time double feature, because by then our podcast is like super popular and stuff, and they're like, oh, we're going to start doing double features for Marketer's Cut episodes in theaters and stuff. So how do you market both of these movies together?
I guess it's the sunscreen, right?
Oh, man, you're right. Just sensual sunscreen rubbing. Man, it's so good.
I don't remember sunscreen in Tenet.
It is the Elizabeth Debicki's character.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Both iconic scenes. Really, I watched both of these movies, and the first scene that comes to mind in both of them is the scene where someone's getting like some nice sunscreen or suntan lotion just rubbed all over their back.
Great, you want to talk about this longer, and I solved your problem very fast because I'm a genius. You're welcome, and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, we almost went an episode where you didn't call yourself a genius, and I'm really glad you got that in there. Well, yeah, I guess you're right. You cut a trailer together that has both of those scenes. Some nice music. What song goes behind
repeat. It's the scary music still. It's definitely the scary music.
Do your scary music. Welcome to the suntan lotion.
No. You have to go.
You don't understand suntan lotion? You're an idiot. My name's Christopher Nolan.
Okay.
That's it.
I think you have to go. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's still gotta be the scary music. And then so when you're watching it About Time, you're like, did I forget that movie? Is that actually a little scary? A little sci-fi-ish?
I'm ready for About Time 2 Spooky Time. That's a good movie title. About Time 2 Spooky Time.
Huh.
They should do a sequel. We're really rambling now, so we should maybe wrap things up. What do you think?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Well, this was an episode of The Marketer's Cut, which you know because you listened to the whole thing. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Marketer's Cut. You can find the podcast anywhere you can find podcasts or on YouTube, and learn more at marketerscut.com. And I want to thank Jacob Wall for the podcast art. Find more of his work on Instagram at Jacob Art Wall. And I haven't mentioned this in a while, but I do the podcast music. I made it.
Yeah, I know, but you never really talk about it, so I just stopped mentioning it.
Well, maybe I want to brag about my music this time.
Okay.
It's dope. We're about to play it, and you're going to hear some of it, and it's like pretty fun.
It's a good time.
So if you're going to start a podcast and want music, hit me up. I might have some stuff ready for you. Alyssa's just staring at me now. She doesn't like the self-plug. So that's pretty much everything. Next week, we are going to talk about... Are we doing Soul first?
You said it, so I guess we are.
Well, I think you said it. Okay, so next week, both Soul and Wonder Woman 1984 come out on the same day. We are going to talk about Soul with an older Pixar movie. I haven't decided on that movie yet.
You haven't?
You told me I get to pick it.
Oh. Okay.
And then the week after that, we're going to do Wonder Woman 1984 and Birds of Prey, which I'm really excited for. A lot of good stuff coming out soon. Go watch these movies. Tenet, I guess you can rent it, or go to a theater and see it. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
And then About Time is on Netflix.
Now I'm going to do what I'm doing this week, practicing for when I use this microphone other times. This time I'm just going to drink soda. Please don't laugh, Logan. I'm seriously trying to just drink soda.
Okay, just drink your soda.
Okay, you have to be quiet so everyone can hear the bubbles and stuff.
That was the worst noise that's ever been in a podcast. Stop. No. Bye.